Hey everyone, Samia Khan here with your FOX10 News Now update. I'm so excited Bob Saget is here, guys.
I'm honored.
I'm not going to lie, normally I act really cool when I have comedians come in. I'm just like, you know what, it's no big deal, but I'll be honest. I was secretly fangirling because I grew up on Full House.
Right.
And it is the
I did
first
too.
memory I have. It's the first memory I have of television, so I'm really excited to have you here. And you are here in Phoenix because you're going to be performing at StandUp Live tonight.
And tomorrow, yeah, 2 shows tonight and tomorrow with my friend Mike Young, who's a movie director. I just did a part in a movie he did called A Stand-Up Guy, and he's opening.
Okay, so he is directing a film called Stand Up Guy. Is that Is it a scripted film then?
It's a scripted film. It's a feature film, and it's about a guy. It's Michael Rappaport's in it, a bunch of people, and it's about a guy who goes into the witness protection program to get away from the mob, but he becomes a comedy club MC, but becomes a hit. So now he's not exactly in the witness protection program. He's kind of exposed. And I'm a country western singer who's a stalker.
I thought you would have. I assumed you were playing yourself in the comedy club, stalking by.
I've been playing character parts. I've been doing a lot of different stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I got a couple things coming up that'll be interesting. And then Fuller House.
It's hard. Is it
Fuller
hard to
House.
add the ER to the
Well, it's
name?
also the name. Candace Cameron Bure, her character, DJ, was married to a guy named Fuller, but he was a firefighter who died in a fire. And so just like my wife when I did Full House was not alive, I needed the help of John Stamos and Dave Coulier, who doesn't. And Candace has Andrea Barber, Kimmy Gibbler, and Jodie Sweetin, Stephanie, helping her raise her 3 kids.
So funny, the friend and then the sibling. It's pretty much.
So it's a spin-off. It's really about them.
Right.
That's what it is. And I've done a couple of them. I've done the first one, which is going to be.
Right.
It all comes out in 2016.
Because you're still their dad.
I am their dad, so I
now
came
you're
in.
Grandfather?
Kid tried to call me Gramps, and I'm like, take it easy. But you got on here on Fox, you got John Stamos starring in a show called
Grandfathered,
which is great. I actually did a cameo in that first episode.
Well, when I knew you were coming
he's my brother.
When I knew you were coming in, we have this giant grandfathered poster in the hall.
I saw it. I got excited.
Can we please take a picture?
Yeah.
With Bob in the John Stamos poster.
I'm gonna take one.
I think that's Instagrammable.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that. That's what I'm promoting his thing. The show itself promoted me on Instagram with him. You're fixing my chair, so I'm
because you were like leaning out that way.
I hate when I lean out. I'm sorry. Is this better?
It's perfect.
Okay.
You're very well centered.
We don't have to say we'll be right back, which is good.
It's so fun.
Right. So Stamos and I are dear friends, and his show is great. He plays a guy who finds out he's not only a father, but he's a grandfather in the first 2 minutes, and that's the show. And it's and he's just adorable. He runs a restaurant in L.A. and he's like hobnobbing around with celebrities. Don Rickles is in it. Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne's sitting next to Don Rickles in the first one.
Is that Lil Wayne? Does he have a regular role, or is it just
a
cameo?
just a cameo. He actually wrote a song once that I'm in. My lyrics were about me. It was something like, I can't say the lyrics here but it's about I want that Bob Saget Full House money. Something like that.
That's good.
It was good. It was nice. It made me sound like I was all pimped out or something.
I actually think the definition of success in this era is being mentioned in a rap song.
It is not bad. Well, there's ways not good.
I mean, it's still cool to be acknowledged in a rap song.
Unless it's like Louis Vuitton with your money. 18 years and the kid ain't his. That's not good. You don't want to be promoted that way.
Yeah, I guess there's that.
There is that.
Oh my gosh.
So now you got questions?
A lot of people freaking out.
Yeah, right? Because it's me, right?
Yeah, and they were all complaining, like, oh my God, she's 5 minutes late. But Jessica's defending me, saying she's allowed to be late. She has Bob Saget.
Right.
Thank you, Jessica.
Oh, so you were 5 minutes late?
Well, we were supposed to start at 9:30, but the time was sort of...
I was doing a lot of press this morning.
A lot of press. In fact, every person in this newsroom wanted a photo with you also.
That's nice. It was a little like Santa Claus. And I'm here in Phoenix doing the stand-up, which I love. I love my stand-up. I always love my stand-up. So it's like an old friend, and I'm working on new stuff.
You started in stand-up.
I was 16 when I started doing stand-up.
And what city where did you start doing stand-up?
Philadelphia.
Okay.
And I won a radio contest. And then I was going to film school at Temple University, and I won a Student Academy Award. So then I moved to L.A. thinking I was going to direct movies, which I've done before, but I've done a lot of bad. I always say I do like 5-6 things, none of them well, but I do.
But
I'm a hyphenate.
That's a lot of people in Hollywood, though. Once you're kind of known for one thing, you get the opportunities to branch out and do other things.
And if you have the wherewithal and you want to do it,
right?
And
exactly.
the talent, you hope the talent.
Right. It's not like when Kim Kardashian tried to sing or
Well, that's celebrity, and that's like I don't.
different.
I don't see myself. People do say celebrities over here. You'll go to some event in LA, and they'll go, "Bring my celebrities," and it's like we're
Right. People who are
unicorns
famous
or something.
well, there's people who are famous for being famous, and
which
there's
isn't anything. I mean, I don't think.
And then there's
But-
people who actually are known for either entertaining you through comedy or through singing or rapping, whatever the thing is.
an artist of some
Yeah.
kind, and then there's Donald Trump.
Which I'm glad you brought up because
It's unbelievable.
I tend to ask comedians on the show their take on Donald Trump and just random current events in general, but Donald Trump is destroying it in the polls.
He is. He wants the whole country to be called the United States of Trump. I mean, he really wants his name on everything, and he's going to spend $1 billion on his campaign, is what I'm hearing. So I don't know. I'm not a political guy, but we've never seen anything like this, and it seems like something out of a sci-fi movie from 30 years ago. It doesn't even seem possible that you'd watch a debate where the audience is applauding when someone is roasting someone else. I mean, he's basically just taking shots at
He
people.
could be a great person on a Comedy Central roast. Is
He
what you're saying.
was. He was. I mean,
Oh.
yeah, he's that
He's that guy.
He's a caustic guy with a sense of humor sometimes.
So I want to acknowledge
Please.
the chat room because they're very excited. Bina
Yes.
asking, Mr. Bob, what percentage of how you were portrayed on Entourage was really you, if that makes sense?
That does make sense. There's little. I mean, I'm not the guy on Full House, but I am a good dad. I have 3 daughters that are old now. They're 28, 25, and 22. It's old. I'm so old. And on Entourage, I was the guy that was hanging out in LA, smoking cigars and wearing a black bathrobe and not shaving. And I do that. So, but I'm not really a womanizer. I have a one-person relationship. I am single again, which brings me back to Phoenix. So that's what I guess that I didn't mean it that way.
Which means because
Hi,
you're single,
hi,
you
Phoenix.
have time to go tour, is what you're saying.
Well,
And go
I
on
would.
the road more because you're single.
Well,
and
I
you
would.
have the time.
No, I would tour even if I wasn't.
Never mind. I was trying
No,
to
I don't
justify that
understand.
comment.
You were trying to get me out of that.
I was trying to help
Basically,
you,
I was
and you're like,
looking at.
you're like,
I
no,
was
no,
looking
no.
I was looking at Phoenix as though it was Tinder. That's just terrible. I
Swipe right on
apologize.
Phoenix.
Please don't let the transcribes of this come
If
out.
you are on Tinder, though, I wonder who is
No, I would never be on Tinder. What am I going to do? There's. Oh my God, it's him. That would be
They probably
so
wouldn't
sad.
even think it's you, though. They'd probably think it's someone using your photo.
Yeah, I agree.
You
And
know?
there are people that do that with everything, with Twitter, with Instagram, and
Right.
But I have my own accounts that are my name. So
Blue
that's-
check mark. The whole
Yeah,
deal.
right. I'm authorized.
Jessica Minsmeyer, question for Bob Saget. If you
Yes.
weren't a comedian or actor, what would you want to be? Also throw in director, right?
Yeah, I am a director and a writer. I wrote a best-selling book. I have a New York Times bestseller last year called Dirty Daddy. The Chronicles of a Family Man Turned Filthy Comedian, but it became a New York Times bestseller. So that's, I wanted to be a doctor. That's what I wanted to do when I started at Temple University as a pre-med, but I was so dumb. Then I went to the film department and I made documentaries about a little boy who had his face reconstructed. So I kind of still had ties to wanting to go near medicine, but
Have you ever played the role of a doctor in any show?
I was in a Richard Pryor movie called Critical Condition in 1986, and Richard was a friend of mine and one of the best comedians that will ever live. And I got to be this Dr. Jaffe who did all the dirty work that he didn't want to do because he wasn't a real doctor. He was impersonating a doctor. He was a convict. All these convicts trying to pretend they were something else.
Right.
But I would love to be a doctor if I knew what I was doing. There's mascots in here.
There are a lot of mascots in here.
Why are
It's
there
actually
mascots
very
in here?
entertaining. I don't know. I feel like they are saying hi to you. They're really
How's it going?
excited.
You
I
guys
think they
wanna go
might be
on the-
walking over to
I
say
think
hi
they're
to
going
you.
to be on the
I really
interweb.
think.
No, they're at desks.
Oh.
I think they're being filmed.
Can we we might as well bring them over really quickly.
I think you can. Hey, you
Hey,
guys.
mascots!
Can you come over?
They're gonna rush
This
over.
is going to be a furry festival.
This is I'm just switching cameras.
Take it easy now. Take it easy. Come on in. Get in.
Right here.
They're everywhere. Are you okay? Oh, nice to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. The Rattlers, come on in. There's a snake.
Oh my
This
gosh!
is my agent.
This is amazing.
And then Casino, Arizona. Look at. Don't mess with the hair. Don't mess with the hair. I know you got. What are you gonna do? You want me to? You don't want me to go in your throat hole. It's a lot of mascots. Give them a round of applause. They're all here.
This is amazing.
All right. Thank you, mascots. I'll miss you. I miss you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I got kissed
Bye,
by a
guys.
mascot,
This is-
and it was good. You take care of yourself. Be well.
Thanks for hanging, guys.
All right.
All right, back to the show. That was fun.
They're strong, these mascots.
Have you ever done an
And I've never done anything with a mascot.
before.
What were you going to ask me? It didn't sound good.
It was,
No, actually, I was in the Rolling Stone once. They took a photo of me, which was more like an entourage type of question, where I was in a hotel room with a mascot that was passed out with a bottle of booze. And I was sitting there. It was a full-page picture of me just looking disgusted, like I did something terrible. I don't
want to know what you did with that mascot.
No one knows. It was
No
just
one
a
knows.
photograph.
Maybe
It was a cool picture, though.
let me see.
Oh, good. I like these pauses because we're on
We're on the internet. I can
the
just...
interweb net. And this lives forever.
Oh yeah, Les Chow Mein-Sing, wasn't he also the host of that family home video show?
Yes, that was the start of that.
America's Funniest Home Video.
I used to write the bad jokes with two other guys, and I did all the voices of all the animals. Look out! All that stuff. That was me.
Speaking of voices, one of our viewers, I think it was Ale earlier, had asked a question. I can't find it, but I know I read it earlier. He was like asking how great was it to be a part of How I Met Your Mother.
That was a great thing.
I think that's what
I was doing a play in New York called Privilege, and I got a call from Pam Fryman, who created, or the director of the two other guys, Carter and Craig, created it. And they said, we'd like you to play the voice of this guy. I said, why can't he do it? And she said, he's a young actor, Josh Radnor, and he's charming, and we just think you'd be right. So it's 20 years later. I said, so it sounds like what, he drank a lot, or he had some more cigarettes or something. And
something happened in those 20 years.
And I just did it, and 9 years of narrating the show. And Josh and I are friends. We really like each other. It's really quite amazing to be part of that thing in a way that I never thought of it as my show. It wasn't. I was a moral compass of the show. It was a guy looking back at his life and then telling the story, which is what Ron Howard did with Arrested Development. It's what Daniel Stern did with the Wonder Years. So it was a nice thing to do.
Out of all the projects you've ever done, is there one that's closest to your heart, or one that's your favorite, or should I just assume it's Full House because it's the thing that sort of...
I would think it's this, what I'm doing right this minute.
So
Whatever I'm doing at the time is usually my favorite. Like literally doing stand-up this weekend is what I'm putting. It's why I'm on this promotional thing. It's what I care about my shows tonight a lot, and tomorrow night, and I've done plays before. There's a play I'm going to be doing, a cool thing in the months ahead, and I'm doing a Fuller House episode next week. So I put 1,000% into whatever I'm doing when I do it. So I really I can't pick a favorite. Stand-up is a friend that I always go back to, because I love it, because I get to be silly, and it's like jazz. It's not really scripted, but it kind of is, and I'm working on new songs, and I write music.
I mean, it's that live experience that can't be replicated. Every show is different.
And you learn from it all, and you write funny stuff down that you went, the problem is you record yourself, and then you don't want to listen to yourself, because you like listening to your voice.
I only go back and watch things when I really need to go back and watch things, because I want to see how something went. Like, I'm going to go back and watch our moment with the mascots, because I just think that's fun.
The mascot moment's going to go
but,
viral.
I mean, how much time do you have in a day to go back and watch everything you just did, you know?
Yeah, and I can't. It's very hard, and I've directed myself before, and it's not fun. It's just not. And hearing my own voice is like, oh my God, please get to the point. Give me something new, Bob.
Frankie's saying a lot of people look up to you. Do you have a role model of your own?
I guess role model. Well, I've become friendly with Norman Lear, who started television in some ways, new television. I mean, he did All in the Family. And he's 93 years old.
Wow.
And I've been hanging out with him a little bit, and he inspires me quite a bit. I'm one of the most remarkable people I've ever met. I guess my dad and my mom was pretty great. My dad was my biggest role model, I think. And my closest friend now that is like a dad to me is Don Rickles, comedian Don Rickles, who's quite brilliant. And if he's coming here to Phoenix, you gotta see him. You gotta go see him. He's 89 years old, and he is just hilarious. I called him up last week, and I said, how do you feel? He went, critical.
I was just going to ask, what kind of conversations do you guys have?
He's just hilarious.
Is it just all funny, or do you guys have really serious moments, too?
It's mostly talking about real stuff. Talking about what you find funny, and what are we going to do about the world, and then talk about creative stuff. And the dinner was actually Don and Barbara Rickles and John Stamos and me. and that was last week. It's on my Instagram.
Where did you guys eat at?
A restaurant called Craig's in LA, kind of a sceney kind of restaurant.
Where is that?
It's on Melrose.
Okay. I lived in LA prior to moving here.
Yeah, it's near Robertson.
Okay.
It's nice.
Very trendy area.
It's
very trendy intersection.
Very little whole thing going on. You got a Varvatos store there. You got a lot going on.
There's a lot, and everything is really. You can't buy anything under $100 on that street.
No, including the people.
Rachel pretty much asked the same question as Frankie, though, who your influences are. Ale wants to know, Bob, what is your go-to beer and favorite beer of all time?
I guess, I'm such a lightweight these days. I'm not drinking as much, so I'm an Amstel Light guy, or, if I can get a Corona Light. It's so sad. Just shove a lime in a Corona Light. So I guess that's it. I've had other beers I like. I was having... what do you call them? A car bomb. The car bomb.
Irish car bomb?
Right. So it's and I don't drink any of that stuff, but I did it. I was with a friend of mine, and it had Jaeger in it. I was with Adrian Grenier from Entourage. I don't stop the name dropping. It's just one long name drop. And we were in Chicago, and we had just gone to see my friend Ben Folds.
From Ben Folds 5?
Yeah, and then we went to see him, and then one of the drummers from Smashing Pumpkins was playing in some small bar.
Just keep going with the name drop.
So Adrian took me to, the drummer from Smashing Pumpkins. His name blurs for me because I was drinking car bombs. And you put the thing in it, but the milk can curdle because it's got, whatever it's got in it, some creamy liqueur.
Guinness? No, not
It's Guinness. It's a Guinness is the beer, but then inside of it is the...
my friends do that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but it's creamy.
Something.
And you do it all quick, and it's just like 5 minutes and then you're bloated, and the hangover is retarded. Whoops, can't say that.
Yeah, you can.
In the non-political way.
You shouldn't say that. What do you think about society becoming too politically correct? That annoys me.
The thing is, I have, when you know people that are mentally challenged, and then you say the word as an accidental teenage faux pas, yeah, then you feel bad. But when I'm trying to explain now that it was... I always love when there's a big glitch in something I say. I say something politically incorrect.
But not just that, but political correctness in general, though.
Well, you don't want to hurt anybody. So
right.
I have a cousin who's mentally challenged. If I said that word, he'd laugh because he knows my comedy and he's a friend of mine.
Right.
But it's not nice to say slurish things. We're in a world where people are calling. It's just terrible. The things that are happening, and words can't become fashionable anymore. When I was in the 80s and I was watching Richard Pryor and Rodney Dangerfield and people that I looked up to and started with, there were no limits at the time. George Carlin, but George was pointing out the 7 words you can't say on television. The R word's a bad word. I don't like celebrity. I think that's a bad word. So, I don't know. I really have no point except I'd like to apologize for saying that word. And flag it more, so I make more out of it rather than just letting it fly. Some people would just let it go, right?
Right.
Are there any other good questions?
There's a lot.
My mom wants to tell you that you were her favorite AFHM host. It was America's Funniest Home Videos. So it would be but it was AFHV, but then it became AFV because they took out the home. My joke was it's because so many people lost their homes. They wanted to make people not feel as bad. Which is a sad joke. But Tom Bergeron's a friend of mine, which is nice. So we talk about people getting hit in the nads. Because that's all we looked at.
Frankie's saying, you always look so great, Bob. How do you stay in shape? What's your secret?
I have a Pilates machine that I lie on and nap. I try to do cardio. I'm not in great shape right now. I've got to get my 2-pack back.
Doesn't mean beer, guys.
I do cardio. No. Just try to get a little abs going. I need a dimple somewhere in my stomach area. But I do. I don't always look so great. Trust me. Trust me. I mean, she's right next to me. She knows.
I don't see any fat.
Well, there is. I keep it hidden. No, there's no fat there.
I still don't see it, but
no,
okay.
I'm not. This is my move. I make her poke around looking for fat.
So it's saying light beer, really?
Yeah, I know. I said light beer. Well, what would yours be? Sam Adams is people's fave. I mean, hey, Guinness. I was promoting Guinness. I mean, that thing in a car bomb, that's serious beer.
Sounds intense.
But I don't drink sometimes. I stay off the stuff because years ago, I wrote about it in the book. It kind of messed up my life. I was driving around drinking, and I'm lucky I didn't hurt anybody.
Right. That's not good.
Right. So my favorite beer.
What about your favorite non-alcoholic beverage?
I like a Dr. Brown's Diet Black Cherry Soda.
So specific.
Yeah, very, very. Well, that's what'll happen when you're My Heritage. You go right to the deli that you want. Kind of pickle. You want a new pickle.
What deli is it?
Oh, well, that's confusing, too, because New York has a zillion.
Yeah, New York has a lot. Are you New York-based or LA-based?
Well, I'm LA-based, but I'm gone to New York for a couple months, and I have a lot of family there. But I don't know, deli's not good in LA, so it's a New York deli. You don't have a deli here, do you? Phoenix must have a deli.
Not like the ones in New York. Let's put it that way.
Right. I was a deli clerk for 5 years. I went through college and I sliced lunch meat. I have a trade. I took a leave of absence from the Amalgamated Meat Cutters Union.
Well, did you have a favorite lunch meat, or were you just so over lunch meat by that point?
Well, it's really about bologna. That's really what you're doing. Favorite lunch meat would be the first cut corned beef, which isn't as fatty. And then, I learned a lot. I sliced lox. I killed carp for those.
Have any of these skills contributed to any of the projects you've done in the future?
No, I have not made a deli
appearance
or movie or anything like it.
Yes.
I'm in the Writers Guild, the Directors Guild, the Screen Actors Guild, and the Amalgamated Meat Cutters Union
Right.
on a leave of absence.
So if there are any screenwriters out there that want to write a film
A deli.
about a deli.
I made an 8mm movie in film school called The Deli Man, and the credits were made out of hot dogs.
Oh.
So that's really why I'm not going near it.
Can I tell you an interesting story since you brought up John Stamos and Grandfathered?
Please.
Steve Kraft, the reporter right there.
Right?
He was at the debate. His sister, Laura Kraft, is a writer on Grandfather. They were on the set yesterday with John Stamos.
Oh, well, Dave Coulier was there yesterday.
So I don't know. I just know
Yeah,
that they were hanging.
Dave Coulier did a cameo on Grandfathered yesterday. There it is. Let's
him.
show it to the people.
That's him.
May we show it? Sure. Well, that's John Stamos, and he is so brightly lit right there. It is very. He is glowing. He is glowing like the chosen one.
That one's way better for TV.
He is mythologically handsome.
So.
He is fantastic. He is. This is a picture that was taken just. Oh darn! I have this new. I used it. Got the new software update.
Oh, iOS 9. How is it?
It is exhausting.
I heard not to download it till they do their update of it.
Well, they keep updating. They're never going to fix it because all they want you to do is buy the new one. But this is promoting Grandfather. This is me and John, because I did a cameo on the show. So it's on in 2 weeks. Grandfather
On Fox.
on Fox, right there. What does it say? What's the comment? Seriously, I love this show, Grandfathered. Not just because my brother John Stamos is the star of the show, but because it's also great and funny. Y'all got to watch it. So there you have it.
Do you type your own Instagram?
Yeah, I do
captions?
everything myself.
Here he is yesterday working on the set.
What is he doing here?
No, he's like reviewing all the shots. And
Oh
Does he
yeah,
have
John.
more of a role than just
Yeah,
act-
John.
Oh, yeah.
John likes to look well on Grandfather. I think he's a producer. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
On Fuller House, he's
He's the executive producer of Fuller House,
he
right?
is one of them. The main guys are.
I know. I want to meet your sister. She seems so cool.
Everybody wants to meet his sister.
I mean,
that's another story.
Oh. This is nice. This is so informal. You just hang.
I just feel like Steve Kraft needs a photo with you too, so you can just slowly start.
Actually, my
Collecting
son is
your-
a big fan of yours. My son's a comedian also.
Yeah.
Really? Your son's a comedian.
Yeah, he is.
Does he perform at the clubs here?
Yeah.
His first show ever was at StandUp Live.
Just turned 17.
Oh my God.
And he
That's
started
when
at
I
16.
started. Yeah, 16.
I have to get your email to send you his stick so you can see it.
I would, and Stand Up Live is, it's a great place for him to go up. Is there an open mic night there? What night is that?
Cameron?
Wednesdays. They know him. Cameron Kraft.
Cameron,
they know
that's
him.
a really good name. Cameron Kraft.
That is a
sounds-
really good name. It's almost
great.
like Laura Kraft, but even cooler.
Yeah.
They can't be much.
Anyway,
cooler
since
than
we
her.
did bring up Fuller House, I feel like we do have to get a couple questions in about that.
Okay.
Because this is a really big deal.
Yeah,
I think-
it actually. Well, they rebuilt the show. I mean, I'm not allowed to take pictures of the set. We're not allowed to talk too much about the show.
Right. It's not the same house, or is it? You can't tell us. Okay. I'm still leave it at that.
It's really amazing what they did.
Are the opening credits going to involve DJ
can't-
in a red convertible on the San Francisco Bay Bridge?
Can't talk about it. All I can tell you is you're going to be satisfied. It's a very long first episode, and there's no commercials because
Right.
it's Netflix.
Right.
So all 13 of them come out next year, and it's really interesting. The first episode that we did was mind-boggling, and to just walk in and just be that guy.
Again, was it easy to just get back into the role of Danny Tanner?
Yeah, I was tired, but that's because I've been working a lot on something else, and but it was really quite. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really
just being
a lot of,
together with everyone again. Too.
being together with everybody, but also it's just really weird to walk into a room and just go. So anyway, so Kimmy, why are you here? You know, and because that's
because you're back into the role of
wasn't-
Danny hating Kimmy, right? Still?
Yeah, it's Danny Tanner and the Kimmy Gibbler relationship.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and there's love. There's a lot of love between all of us. So I'm
Right.
doing one next week, which is fun. I just read the script for it the other day, and then
This was really big news on the internet when it came out.
oh,
I mean,
it's crazy. There's tragedies in the world, and Full House is coming
Well,
back.
honestly, though, it is such a huge part of late 80s, 90s television. And that is a time where, again, primetime shows were huge
Yeah.
at that time. So I feel
Well, there
like,
wasn't the cable market. I mean,
right,
so we
and
had
there was
such
no
a giant.
internet market either, obviously.
It definitely wasn't what we're doing right now.
Right. And so I just think that, I feel like if someone who doesn't have Netflix now, I feel like they would get Netflix just to watch this show.
And they know that, and they're a real smart company. I mean, they're taking over the world.
Right.
They're really great. And what they've done is, this is the first family show they've ever made.
Right.
And it's a live studio audience. It's the first multi-camera. So it's 4 cameras, which is more than you have here. And it's a live studio audience with a family show, with moral themes, just like the original had. And there's some life lessons to be learned. You can watch it with your parents, and so I'm very proud to. What Stamos was so great about him, and what Jeff Franklin and Bob Boyette, the other guys that
Right.
originally produced it. Jeff Franklin is head writer of this show right now. They wanted to keep the legacy
Right.
alive and not just smear it with let's just put a show on. We've been asked to do clip shows, we sit there and you run old clips of the show.
Right.
That's not what this is. This is
actually
these are the
scripted.
characters.
A continuation.
It's a continuation. 25 years later. I mean, Star Trek was 10 years later when they went and did Star Trek, and we're not,
Well, the series finale was what, like 95, 96, 97, something around this.
94, I think.
Are you?
Well, we started in 87 and we ran for 8 years.
So 95.
Yeah, there you go.
I cried on the series finale.
I did too, because I was.
Well, you were part of
I
it.
was relieved. Well, they had talked about continuing it, and Dave would have continued it, but it didn't seem right the way we were going to continue it on another network. So it felt right for it to end when it did. But it's very nice to do it in the way I'm doing it, which is not all the time. Just guest star.
Yeah.
I mean, but I love being the guy, and it's as an actor, you go, no, Danny wouldn't do that. And I'm a guy who's got an irreverent sense of humor, who goes off and does these things that.
Right, your stand-up comedy is much different than Danny Tanner.
That's a character.
Exactly.
And actually, my stand-up comedy is a character also. It's an amped-up version of me. Mm-hmm. And it's not. I mean, I'm not like my stand-up comedy right now. This is more what I'm like
in a regular day-to-day
communicating to another person.
Right.
If I'm not like sleeping or working out, or I like quiet time also, so that I can do all the work. And you have to, if you're going to be an actor, and I've got another acting project coming up next year. Well, actually this year, I don't know when, but you really have to have a clear mind. You can't be drinking a lot of real beer. You just have to pick your spots. But you have to have a clear mind. Thank you for helping. That was the joke. I was actually doing it as a joke, but it wasn't very good. You have to have your memory, which means you need to not be on substances that mess up your memory if you want to work and be able to be good. And you have to be there for other people because it's collaborative.
Right.
Even stand-up, it's collaborative. I can't be on stage tonight at StandUp Live at 7:30 and 10 tonight, and at 7 and 10 tomorrow night. I can't be up there. I'm a plug master. But I can't be up there and not be there 100%.
Right, you have to show up. You have to be ready to go.
And you don't, and to have fun.
Right,
and the idea is to love it.
Right, and acknowledge the audience and bring them in. And
Oh, I do that.
I saw you perform at the Improv. I want to say it was 2010.
In Tempe?
No, in LA. I just moved here 9 months ago.
Oh.
At the Melrose Improv. It
Right.
was, I want to say it's March 2010. I know that sounds really
Very
weird, but you were
possible.
there with Jeff Ross. You guys just stopped in randomly.
Oh, was I playing piano for Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My ex-boyfriend's a stand-up comedian. He was performing that night. I remember.
Ex-boyfriends don't make good stand-up comedians.
I'll leave it at that.
I have never dated a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, you
I
shouldn't.
don't think I could. No, it's difficult. I probably know the stand-up comedian
You
that's
do,
your ex-boyfriend.
probably, but we'll leave it at that.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's
well,
okay.
I'm glad it's over.
I'm glad it's over, too.
Yeah.
Tamara asking, Bob, in the new show, are the roles reversed? Is it the kids that fix your mistakes and ask you if you learned your lesson?
No, I'm not in a nursing home. But if they did Fullest House in 20 years,
Maybe then.
yeah, right. Then it would be, Dad, come by the window. I don't remember. Who are you? I'm DJ, Dad. No, it's everybody just progressing on with their stuff. I can't give you plot away. I'm not allowed. They literally have assigned stuff.
Wow, so you can't even answer this question by Rachel. Is Uncle Jesse still obsessed with his hair?
Well, the characters they're true to the characters. So
Right.
I'm a clean freak. I made myself a clean freak on the show.
you developed that
and a
part.
hugger. Danny Tanner was not written as a hugger. I think he had a little bit of neat freak in him, but I turned it into this crazy thing. Yeah, because I was a big fan of Neil Simon's The Odd Couple, which is Felix Unger was the craziest clean freak. So it's a stolen character
But
attribute.
I feel like that's so important when it comes to TV characters, though.
You want to be able to know who
They
your
want-
two-dimensional characters are.
Well, they're quirks.
But in shows now, there's more dimensions to characters. I mean, people have their different, if you watch Silicon Valley, if you watch Girls or whatever, characters have a lot more. I mean, they're not four-camera, multi-camera,
Right.
family sitcom, which is, it's you got to get to the jokes. You got to get,
Right.
oh, here comes the emotional part. And the thing about Full House that I think made it so successful is that it was, that felt real for a minute. In the middle of all of this, I don't know, all this crazy cartoon talk. Sometimes it felt like it was just nice, it was like meatloaf. It was home cooking.
I mean, I was raised on it. I joke because my dad would never really paid attention that you raised, like Danny Tanner, not you, the character, raised me in terms of family values, and I was so fascinated by how many hugs happen on that show. And I was like, is that how you resolve problems in households?
Well, it was funny because when I was in my early 20s, I went to acting classes, and I was just going to be a director. I didn't think I was going to act. And my parents weren't hugging type people.
Right.
And they became hugging type people. So I lost my mom a year and a half ago, and my dad 8 years ago, they were known for hugging. So my parents became a very huggy family, and it's all because I kind of learned it
From Danny?
from acting class.
From acting
No,
class.
yeah, I couldn't get a job. I was like 7 years in LA, just struggling and working at the clubs and trying to get a job. So, but then Danny, yeah, it makes me want to hug people less. But I am a hugger. I do hug people that I care about.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I mean, I got 3 kids and gotta hug them.
You have 3 kids in
I have
real
3
life,
daughters,
too.
and-
3 daughters in real life.
But the thing is, they're women, right? So they're 28, 25, and 22. So a father does the unicorn hug, where you just kind of, you don't hug on, you don't go inappropriate hugs. You just like, I love you so much. But the hug can last. You just don't. I don't trust families that do the full body press at a certain age. It's not necessary. It's just too much.
Right.
Let's see. Do I like Jamie Kennedy? I love Jamie Kennedy. He's an old friend of mine. There was a music video he did, and Rollin' with Saget was his song. We did a rap video that cost $500,000.
That's a lot of money.
$500,000. A guy named Dave Dean used to do Mariah Carey videos, directed it. And Kennedy's a good guy. He's a Philly guy.
Will you have a dog-like comment? I love that you're getting so...
I know. I just have girlfriends with dogs. Ex-girlfriends. I have ex-dogs. I had one dog that was my dog. That my ex-wife and we've been divorced 18 years. The dog died, sadly. But I took care of him at the end, last year of his life. I tried to keep him alive. He had cancer, and I kept getting him treatments. But he was joint custody, so he was, not legally, but he would go wherever my daughters were, and his name was Alan. And I wrote a song once, and it's in my stand-up, and the audience sings it with me. And it's something my dog did to me late at night. And I was just sitting in the house with some scotch, and I was drinking, and I had jeans on, and he came over and just like nuzzled with me, but a little bit too familiar. So I wrote a song about it, and it's people know it. It was on my special, That Ain't Right. So
And where can people watch your special?
well, that's HBO, so that's easy. That's downloadable. That's iTunes. That's Amazon. The last one, That's What I'm Talking About. I got nominated for a Grammy for Best Comedy Album on that one.
Congrats.
That's What I'm Talking About is Netflix, Hulu, iTunes.
You can watch it,
And
basically.
anyway, yeah, you can get my stuff.
Or you can see him live in person
website.
tonight. I mean, or tomorrow. That's
Now
what I would recommend.
this is live right now, right?
Yes.
So, but this lives forever. Do you
It lives
keep
forever,
this?
yes.
That's going to be a problem. Can you cut out that one word I said about my cousin? It wasn't my cousin. Why? See, when you get off of something, why bring it back? It's only the OCD mind does that.
Yeah.
They hold on to that one
Let's
thing.
let go of it. Let's not worry about it. I don't even know what you're talking about.
That's what's great about it.
What's happening?
That's what's so
I have
perfect.
no idea.
What does mudslingers don't stand a chance mean?
I have no idea. It's an ad for Volvo, though.
Oh, it's an ad.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. It's not nice to make fun of people. So you're saying if you attack people, you don't stand a chance. But how do you explain Trump? I mean, he is a mudslinger. He is just attacking.
Keeps rising in the polls.
Yeah. Well, what are the polls?
He has last poll he had 30%.
Yeah.
There's 16 candidates. He has 30% of the GOP vote.
He's got $1 billion. He's huge.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
Tells
what
you.
happens. Oh wow, they're talking about the Trump controversy right now. apparently.
Well, we're
Josh
talking
Earnest.
about it.
Yeah, no, everyone's talking about it. Did you hear what happened yesterday?
No.
I don't know. Oh, basically, a guy in the crowd was like, Obama is Muslim and we need to get them all out of America. And he didn't correct the guy, and so now it's trending all over Twitter, basically.
That's just sad.
Because it was a town hall and some guy was angry.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be something new tomorrow. There's too much anger. There's too much hatred. It just doesn't make any sense. There's too much TMZ way of thinking. There's too much people wanting to be rich and famous rather than people just wanting to, I don't know, find some directive and then maybe you can
Contribute to the world?
and make a profit from it.
Right.
Maybe you could find something that could get you rich. And I mean, there's rich and famous like Elon Musk, where you're
Right.
trying to think about how to save the world. I wanted to build a wave machine, and I didn't think it existed. Then I talked to a Nobel Prize winner that told me that they use them a lot. They're in the ocean, and you just get the energy from the ocean going in and out. But did you know they exist?
I didn't even know they existed.
Well, they exist, and they cost $1 trillion, but they exist, and they are one of our greatest sources of energy if we want to channel it.
I did not know that.
Besides solar. And once the whole planet melts, it's going to be easy anyway. Are you guys all dried up like we are in California?
No, there's actually this whole monsoon season.
Oh, you
I
had
didn't
a
know
terrible
about this.
thing happen last week. Yeah, on the border of Arizona.
There's just random flooding.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
yeah.
rain that comes. It was raining a few days ago. No, beginning of this week, there were trees knocked down.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
it's a
was
little
there was some
different.
horrible floods recently.
But then even California was just hit hard a few days ago.
We
Record.
were. I actually had to put in 5 new toilets.
Wait, really?
Really?
What happened?
I have 7 toilets. They're all in one room. but I had a problem. None of my plumbing worked. The tree roots had eaten it all up, so there was no drainage in my backyard. So I had to dig up my whole yard. I had to dig up the whole house and have drainage put in so my house doesn't flood.
Wow.
Isn't that a great story? That's what happens when you keep people long enough live on the internet. What
I
else
know.
do they want?
Rachel's saying, Bob, I love your comedy and how awesome you are.
Bob has more respect for people. Oh, they're talking about other people. I can't follow the trail.
Yeah, they were Ale was talking
I
about-
see.
They're bringing up previous shows.
I see.
Tamara asking, Bob, were you mad they let Uncle Jesse marry Lori Loughlin's character rather than your character? I would have been
Well,
very upset.
No, I mean, she was my co-host on Wake Up San Francisco. Why would I be mad that my brother-in-law got to be happy with Becky? I mean, there's nobody better than Becky.
Yeah.
Lori Loughlin's one of the cutest, sweetest, most wonderful people, greatest friends. When we were doing the show, she would just bake pies, And before we would go to even leave our house, we'd find pies on our doorstep. She would drive to people's homes.
That's so nice.
And leave pies. It seems a little stalky now.
Now.
I mean, now that I know her. And I wouldn't eat something just off the ground.
I feel like this has all gone on this really random tangent. So
Yeah, I know. That's
let's
what
just
happens if you
recap.
talk to me
Let's
long
recap.
Go ahead.
So you are at Stand Up Live tonight and tomorrow.
Right, 2 shows tonight and tomorrow.
7:30 and 10
Tonight,
and then 7 and 10 tomorrow night.
Exactly. They need more time to get the people that drink more out tomorrow.
Right.
They start to wobble. So
Yeah, because people start drinking earlier on Saturday.
they do.
I follow. And
And then the thing that people have been asking about, Fuller House comes out in 2016, all on Netflix, all 13 episodes.
Right.
If not more, I don't know what they're doing. And people will be able to binge watch or grunge watch or however they want to do it. And I've got a stand-up tour coming out next year where I'll be doing a new special after I tour for a while. But this is kind of the material I'm working on right now is going to be in the new hour that I'm working on.
so when is that hour supposed to come out?
I have no idea because I haven't shot it. So it'll be whenever. What's nice
What are you
about where I'm
hoping? When are
at,
you hoping to release it and shoot it?
I would guess it'd come out in the fall sometime, and I would guess I'd shoot it sometime in the spring.
And how do you decide what venue you're going to shoot it at?
That's a good decision. I don't know. I thought of San Francisco just so I could say, "Wake up, San Francisco."
As your opening line.
Yeah,
There you go.
and that'd be the only reference to the show.
Right, and given that the return of Fuller House, I feel like now is the appropriate time to
It
do
would be.
it.
It would
Yeah.
be interesting.
I think you
I
should.
do love the audiences there. I don't know. The last one I shot was in Seattle, and the time before that I was at right on NYU's campus
Mm-hmm.
at the Skirball Theater. So I don't know. That's not the main thing. The main thing is what is the hour and that it's good. I just want it to be funny. And there's a couple other things I'm working on, which I'm excited about. A movie thing I'm directing and acting in that the ink's not dry yet on the contracts, but we're cast. And then I like directing a lot. Sometimes I'll just direct traffic. I'll just go out in the street.
Wear a bright vest.
I always wear the bright orange.
Yeah.
So with you here, or they go bright green.
Again, I've lived here for 9 months.
Yep,
my
understood.
reference point, I haven't hit too many signals where the power was out yet.
So you fled L.A.
I love LA. LA is my heart
Ah.
and soul.
But then how can you
it's so
say that
fun.
to the people now?
But I like it. I love it. It's just where you consider home, or where the years where you developed as an individual and as an adult.
Yes.
That will always be near and dear to you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what Los Angeles was for me.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I love
but
LA.
I love Arizona. Everyone's very nice.
I like it here a lot. I mean, it's almost like L.A. in some ways.
Yeah.
It reminds me of it.
There's traffic. There's some good restaurants.
It's a big grid here.
It's a big grid.
It's a lot of driving.
Lots of driving.
And a lot of cities that are similar.
Right, and they're all kind of connected to each other. Like, a lot of people back in LA don't really know that Phoenix and Scottsdale, it's pretty much the same city. I tell people, it's kind of like where you're in LA, or not even the Valley in LA. You're in LA, and then suddenly you're driving west, and you hit West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and you're still in the same streets. They're just considered different cities.
Yeah.
Phoenix and Scottsdale share the same streets.
Yes.
It's sort of just the same thing. There's not even mountains separating it like the Valley.
No. It's
Yeah.
it's like a Coyote movie. Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. No, that's not true. That's out toward the more of the Camelback Mountain kind of thing.
Yeah, you're pretty familiar
I'm
with
thinking
the
about
Phoenix area.
Sedona for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, there are parts of Arizona that are
Yeah.
a little more Wile E. Coyote.
That's Sedona. Yeah, the rock that balances.
I mean,
on
I still
nothing.
remember the first time I saw my first cactus. It was very exciting. It was the highlight of my move here. But on that note, I know you need to get going.
Yeah, there's
you
some
have
other
a lot of
thing I
work
have
you
to
have
go
to do.
to. Right.
I am going to show the viewers.
I can't believe you're so good at all this tech stuff. Look at you. You could run an airline.
I could, but Josh Earnest is speaking, the guy that was talking about the Obama-Trump situation.
Right.
So I'm going to show the viewers what Josh Earnest is speaking about while I go ahead and walk you out. How about
Okay,
that?
good.
Any final question? I guess there's one question. Let's show me.
Out. They're going out.
Bob, do you like when interviewers bring up Full House, or are you tired of people asking about it?
Well, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
I feel
it's
like-
saying I'm not Spock, you know. And we are doing the reboot, so
That's
I mean
where I feel like it's relevant.
right, that's fine. It's all good. I like people.
And,
I'm all good. I just want to know why they went out with an asterisk, like you're going to walk me out.
I don't
Maybe they think the segue is awkward. Are we still on?
We are on right
but
now.
But you're running him in a small screen right now?
No, not yet. I'm about to run him as soon as we walk
Oh,
off.
good. That'll be good.
Yeah, Rachel has one last question though. Bob, how are you inspired for material for your shows? Where does it come from?
That's interesting. I guess it comes from the quiet time. It comes from just thinking about stuff. And I also roll around with my iPhone, and I just thousands of things on my notepad. I write all day pretty much. If anything gets said funny, I won't write anything down from here. Not your problem, my problem. No, I wasn't that. I don't think I came up with anything that. Well, I don't know. The grid, my Wile E. Coyote. I don't think so.
Right, because you're thinking of like Phoenix specific material for tonight, I assume.
I am in the Phoenix state of mind.
Yeah.
I'm like Billy Joel, but it's Phoenix. but I do think of things like I've been thinking about birth and death a lot, which comedians sometimes tread in areas like that because my friends just had a baby and my mother just passed away. So I've got material that are dealing with both of those things that aren't meant to make people sad. They're
right.
just and I find humor and stuff. It's hard to talk about humor and not do it. Mm-hmm. But it's like, oh, this is really funny what I'm going to do. It's like, well, it doesn't sound funny. Talking about comedy is, as you know,
right.
having had a horrible ex in your life.
You just assumed it was horrible. You don't even know. We could have been best friends after.
Maybe.
We're
Most
not.
exes are not.
We're not.
Yeah, I'm not really friends with my exes, which is. Any last thought here? I think Bob would be a great replacement for Peter Venkman. I agree. Couldn't agree more.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to walk you out.
Thank you.
I was going to show you guys Josh Earnest, but I noticed that there's a fire going on, and I think you guys will be more into that instead.
Where's the fire?
I will let viewers know in a second.
Do you know?
I just know that there's a fire somewhere. But
interesting.
I will show you guys this video, find out where the fire is, and I'll be back with you guys
It
in a
doesn't
minute
look
or two.
bad. It doesn't look like a bad fire. I hope
Fire,
it's not.
though. And it's local, guys. It's here somewhere in the valley. That is Sky Fox live on the scene right now. So
But that looks like a barbecue gone bad.
that's a good theory.
All right, let's hope everybody's okay. Take care, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, guys, just to recap, this fire is at a golf course. I don't have the exact location right now, but we do know it's a golf course here in the valley where a fire is currently taking place. All right, guys, just a quick update. This is the Wigwam Golf Course in the West Valley. These are live images coming in right now, courtesy of Sky Fox. Again, guys, you are looking at live images right now of a fire that firefighters are putting out right now at the Wigwam Resort in the West Valley. Wigwam is in Litchfield Park. It is set on 440 landscape acres. It has been operating since 1929. You can see when we first arrived, there were some massive flames, but it looks like firefighters have done their jobs. They have put out this fire, and it looks like there's not much of a scene anymore at this golf course.
Scanner 1, on.
All right, guys, that is a wrap on our fire coverage. Joining me now is Kristin Anderson. Kristin, this is,
Hi.
I guess, a bittersweet day for you.
Yeah, I just was in the green room because I have cried all my makeup off 3 times today, starting
gosh.
at 4 in the morning when I came in. And it is bittersweet. I think that's the perfect way to say it. And I think the way that, the thing, I can never say how grateful I am for this experience, and I can never express how grateful and how much I'm going to miss this place. But it's good because when you give your heart 100% to something, then it'd be bad if I didn't miss it, if I wasn't sad, you know what I mean? And so I feel like I really give my heart here, and I just love it. So
Right, and one of the things that everyone here talks about so much is, we're all work aside, it's the people in this newsroom that are, I just saw someone standing on a chair. I was like, what's going on?
See the crazy people.
There's
like
crazy.
Someone's wearing a wrestling belt,
Well,
walking through saying I'm the champion. Like that's what happens around here.
That's what
And it's so endearing and it's super lovable. I think that's what it is. Like my best friends are on this show, FOX10 AZAM, and we hang out outside of work at each other's baby showers and birthday parties and so life stuff. So those tears were real, and it was
Yeah.
just it was a hard, heavy week, but
Right.
you know, it's see you later. It's
Right,
not- it's
because you're
goodbye.
not going too far away.
Not at
LA
all.
is a 5.5-hour drive, assuming you don't hit traffic once you get into the greater LA area.
Yes.
And it's an hour flight. I
Yeah.
do it a few times
You do, right?
once or twice a month, yeah.
Okay.
So it's very doable. Just
Yeah.
build those Southwest points.
Exactly, yeah. And I honestly, I am going to be posting everything I do on Home and Family because I'm going to the Hallmark Channel. Still watch FOX10.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be just follow me on Facebook. I switched my name to Kristin Smith though. That's important for everyone to
For
know.
your TV.
Kristin Smith, yeah, that's gonna be my TV name because that's my married name. And so I just want one name. I'm tired of having two names. I just want
Right.
one name. And so if you follow me on Facebook, I will post every new thing that I have on there. I'm
Right.
going to be way more into social media, which is going to be exciting
Well,
because
you
I have
a
time.
lot more time. I was going to say,
I have more
you're going to be
time.
shooting once a week?
Yeah, once a week I'm going to be a mommy fitness expert on Home and Family.
That's so fun.
Yeah, so I'm going to do a lot of mommy segments, a lot of fitness segments, and yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah. Okay, and viewers, by the way, if you have any questions for Kristin, that's why we're doing this.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this. We don't
I
wanna
know
just hear me
Alfredo
talk.
didn't know that you were leaving.
Oh,
so he's
that's-
really sad.
We've been talking about it all week long, and and if you follow us on social media, I'm sorry because you've been hit over the head with the fact that
Yeah.
I'm leaving. But yeah, that's why we did it all week long. So if someone maybe is out of town or whatever, they'll come back on Friday. Unfortunately, Alfredo, sorry, but yeah, you'll at least find out.
Yeah.
So everyone's saying they're gonna miss me. I'm gonna miss you too.
Apple
Snapple.
Rachel.
I appreciate
Bina.
it. The Wayans brothers are going to be upset that you aren't there anymore. That was Marlon Wayans is one of my celebrity crushes. When I was little, I was obsessed with him when I was 12.
Did you guys have a moment in studio that I missed?
Kind of.
Okay.
But you were in LA at the time.
Okay, I was gonna
Yeah.
say I missed this.
We were
clearly.
in a heart, I was in the field and he was in studio, and we were in a heart 2 box, and I was
that's
being
so
shy because I really it was starstruck.
Right.
So embarrassing.
I mean, I was just starstruck, not in a loving sort of way, but when Bob Saget was sitting
Oh,
in my
I know.
chair, and Danny Tanner raised me. You don't
I know.
understand. I learned all of my life lessons. There's this one scene from Full House where Danny is teaching Joey how to make a sandwich, and he teaches
Yeah.
how you have to first you wipe.
Oh, I remember.
the knife.
I
and
remember.
Then, I didn't even tell Bob this, but I was I should have told him this.
You should have told
how
him.
you wipe it on the bread, and then you layer the meat, the cheese.
Yeah,
the meat, the
there's a
cheese.
science to
and
it.
I have
Yeah.
followed that ever since.
You still make the sandwich like that?
I mean, I
love
always
it.
think about the scene.
No, but
at
those
least.
are the kind of things that really impact us.
It's always
And
the childhood stuff. I feel
Right.
like, you know, I always explain to people when you meet people that have become successful in your own adulthood, you respect them, but it's kind of no big deal
Yeah.
for the most part in our
Yeah.
industry. But when
Right.
you meet someone, they might not even be doing anything anymore now in terms of their career. But if they impacted your childhood,
Yeah.
it's a big
It
deal.
stays with you, which is good because it's good to keep that piece of childlikeness with you. Because
Right.
growing up with all this adult stuff, we need to not be too serious all the time. You know,
Right.
so that's good. I love that you make your sandwich like that. My husband makes fun of me the way I say sandwich, by the way, because I can include the D, sandwich.
Instead of
he says
sandwich?
sandwich. I say sandwich. You know.
I think it
So-
is sandwich, though.
I wish
I'm
you
gonna eat a
liked it.
sandwich.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I gotta answer a couple of these questions.
Yeah.
Natasha Mullins, when do you start on your new show on Hallmark? My first day is Tuesday, so it'll air on Wednesday.
Wow.
So literally the weekend, I shoot Tuesday. It'll air Wednesday morning at 7 a.m.
Do you know what your segment is coming up?
Yeah, I'm gonna do games that you can play with your kids. Really fun games that also give you a really good workout. And I'm gonna be doing it with Holly Robinson Pete. You probably know her.
fun.
She was
From
on
Hanging with Mr.
Been
Cooper.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Another
speaking of
childhood
shows. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing games that are also give you a really good workout, and you can burn up to 300 calories just playing a game in the backyard for 30 minutes. It's gonna be fun.
That's
Yeah.
so fun.
So we're gonna do 4 backyard games.
That
it's
is
gonna be fun.
so great.
Yeah. Okay. What is it?
Apple saying, Kristin, please go to Nammy's before you leave.
Ma'am,
It's a cupcake
It's a cupcake.
place.
Gosh, I don't have any time, but I'm gonna visit though, and so Nammy's. I'll definitely try and
Rachel's
get there.
saying, Kristin, I have a picture with you when my kids and I were in the studio a few months back. Can I send it to you, and how can I do
Oh,
that?
Facebook.
Or
Find me.
can she tweet it to you?
Tweet it, yeah, right. Oh shoot, I have to change all my Twitter. I have to change my Twitter. So
What's
it's still
your name
Kristin
in it?
FOX10 right now, but so I got to figure
Is
out.
it going to be Kristin Smith? Is
Yeah,
that probably
I'm gonna
taken?
go by Kristin Smith, but it's
But
so
it's probably
common.
going to be taken.
Well,
Kristin Smith TV.
I'll try, or maybe on Facebook, on Facebook.com/official Kristin Smith. So maybe I'll just do official Kristin Smith.
I know, it's
We'll
so many
see.
characters.
Yeah.
though.
Oh, that's
With
right.
Twitter, because
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh.
OFFICIAL
You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KRISTIN.
Yeah.
It's
SMIT.
too long.
That's too long. Too
yeah,
much.
no, they
I'll
only
figure
they
something
max
out.
out at 16 characters.
See, and that's why I say just follow me on Facebook, right? Because then I'll update you with everything. And KristenSmith.com is going to go live in a week, so I'll have a website too that you can go to. But yeah, so look, you're so good at this. You're just kind of like, look, I'm always like this.
Yeah,
like
no, I
I'm
glance.
a million years old.
This is
like,
what happens when you do this every
I know.
single day. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Let's recap kind of your years here at Fox, because it's your last day.
I know.
Favorite story you covered or most memorable moment on
I think,
AZAM?
well, my most memorable moment, you can probably look it up on here, is when Corey pranked me pretending that he broke the TV. Like, we were doing this huge giveaway where this winner won this huge screen TV. Everyone knew that he was going to prank. I'm the only one that didn't realize. The TV fell and shattered everywhere, and I thought it was the TV that we were giving away to this.
But it was
lucky,
a real TV.
But it was
that
already.
shattered.
It was. Yeah, I thought it was, but it was a fake TV. And so on live TV, I freaked out. Like, oh my gosh! Like, if those of you who have watched for 5 years, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I am constantly getting pranked by Corey. You know, he's pretended to smash my phone. I freaked out. Like, but I think I think just that. Honestly, Samia, I could not pick a favorite. I could not pick a favorite thing because, like,
Every week, probably there's something
I've gotten to do so many fun things in the community, from all the charity events like JDRF to Climb to Conquer Cancer to just hanging out with these crazies every morning. Oh, chocolate cake! It's for Samia.
It's your
Thank
going
you.
away.
I know. I
chocolate
got a
cake, though.
chocolate cake from Costco. I've had it every birthday with chocolate frosting and chocolate chips. Every birthday for the past 10 years.
And so they knew
Yeah,
that
so they
was
brought my chocolate Costco cake. But yeah,
That's actually, I've had that before. That's a really good
best.
cake. Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's
really
like so moist.
thankful for Mark always looking out for me.
I know.
'Cause when you're up here, you
He's
can't really
so
go
sweet.
grab the food yourself.
I'm
And
all
they know
for
that because
you.
they always randomly see an arm come in here on random days
And give you some food.
And then next thing you know, there's food in the background.
It's like a pork chop. You're like, oh, thanks. Put that back there.
Pizza,
Yeah.
salad.
Oh my gosh.
Show it,
Oh,
Samia.
and you,
Oh,
Mom.
that's true.
Maribel
We could pull
Regalado.
up the
Yeah.
Corey. What would it?
Corey McCluskey pranks
Kristin Anderson.
Even TV. That's it
Oh,
right
here
there.
it is. So there you go.
See, I
Thank
told
you, Apple Snapple, for bringing that up. I forget that I can pull up everything on this show
I know.
for our viewers right away.
Oh my gosh.
This is so. Oh my God, the graphics are so different.
Maribel, tell your boyfriend thanks for watching me in Yuma. That's when I started my career, and I was really
Were you at the NBC station
not
there?
skilled. Yeah,
That's
KYMA.
I wanted, when I was in college, I really wanted to work there.
Oh, it was a great place. Great place.
It seems so cool.
Kristen, will you miss the summer heat? Although LA is pretty hot. Ale, Ben. I will not miss the summer heat, but I will miss this place and the people there.
It's air conditioning
You know,
inside here.
I know. Yeah. Luckily, I don't have to go out and hang out in the sun too often. But you want to play this?
Yeah, I want to play this because it's pretty exciting. Let's see.
This is one. I mean, this is just the kind of everyday stuff that happens on this show, though.
Yes.
You know, this crazy
So,
stuff.
are
So
we
this
ready?
is perfect.
We're ready.
Look
Oh
at
my God,
Andrea.
Andrea's
She had
hair.
longer hair.
Oh my God.
She had longer hair.
Okay, Kristin, you can unveil
Gosh,
this
I'm
for
gonna
me?
miss this.
Okay.
Okay, so I wish you guys were over here with me because I want to tell.
It's okay, we're only 5 feet
No.
away.
I
Yeah.
know. Okay, so I want to talk to you
Okay,
guys, but
okay.
so cool. So can I just sit over there?
No,
Just
no,
sit here?
no, you're over there.
So people are guessing
Kind of
what
like
this.
Vanna White, you know what I mean?
People are guessing what this prize is, and people have guessed a trip on Andrea's cruise with her, a trip to Italy with Rick D'Amico, dinner and a movie with me. No trip with me, just dinner and a movie. An
shoot it in
iPad.
Italy.
What else do people guess? Free gas. But no, you're wrong. The prize we are giving away to our Facebook fans, because we want to show how much we appreciate you guys for liking us, are we ready? Let's unveil it. A box with a question mark on it.
Oh, you're gonna
Thank you very much, and that's...
What was that? What did you just do?
Oh my gosh. Don't leave.
Don't Corey me!
Don't leave. You have to come back and help me put it up. I can't live
The
this by
boss is
myself.
around the corner. You both are in so much trouble. What did you just do?
It's a flat screen TV. It's really huge. Corey. Oh my God.
It's fine.
Oh my.
See, I think it's totally real.
Yeah, it looks real.
Jobs that really...
Oh.
Now be serious, you guys. Is that really? Come on,
No, I'm
Kristen.
pretty sure this is real.
No,
Like,
I'm
this is really happening on live
No.
TV.
No, we're gonna fix
Oh.
this.
Joke is revealed. Why didn't anyone let me in on the
Lower
joke?
thirds right here.
Joke is, I know.
They're like, they have those lower thirds ready because they know what's gonna happen.
I was so I couldn't believe everyone knew that it was fake except me. I was like really mad. I was like, don't leave me here. Like I wasn't there for that long when that happened. I mean, I was less than a year old here.
Oh my gosh,
that
is
was so
good.
fun.
Everyone
Will
was
Kingston
really
be on your show with you?
Will he?
Yeah, he's gonna be on this Wednesday. He's gonna be on with me.
Is that his? Well, it's not his TV debut. I'm sure he's.
No, he's been on. I mean, here he's been on a million times. Since 8 hours after he was born, he was on TV on the show. But yeah, he's gonna be on the show with me doing lots of stuff. So yeah,
that's so fun.
I'm gonna blog with him and everything. So that little kid's got a future in showbiz, whether he wants it or not.
Living in LA. Veronica saying, what is your most embarrassing moment or interview? I assume the embarrassing one is that one. Maybe? Or no,
Yeah,
do you have a different moment?
Honestly, I do have an embarrassing moment, but I don't know if it's appropriate to say. Okay, the first time I ever saw the word Boehner in the teleprompter.
Okay,
let's just say I did not say Boehner.
Yeah, you can leave it at that.
I just leave it at that, and I said
and
it.
I completely understand, because the way it's spelled, you can easily...
And I said it 4 times, like, it was, I don't know who wrote that script, but that word Boehner was in it like 4 times, and I just kept saying it wrong
As
over.
in John Boehner.
And
think about the way his name is spelled.
and
I'll leave it at that.
Everybody in the studio, because at that time this was in Miami when I was at this show called The Morning Show on the CW. But anyway, everyone was like at that time we had camera operators and everything. Now we have like robots,
Yeah.
but everyone was dying laughing. So I could see everyone dying laughing, and I'm like, what? And so that was embarrassing. That was really embarrassing. Oh wow.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Most embarrassing interview?
Yeah, I don't know about the interview.
Can we also please see Kristin getting back at Corey doing the weather?
Oh my gosh, that was really... I don't
there
want to
a-
see that because
okay.
like I didn't realize my hands were super wandery, and it looked like I was like... Because I put on this green suit so I could be like this invisible ghost
on the green
harassing
screen.
Corey. Yeah, see the stuff we do on this show? It's
That's so fun, though.
crazy.
That's the thing. I love the morning show. I love...
Kristen dressed in all green and messed with Corey. Find that one. No, it was... My hands were a little creepy crawly, and I didn't realize it, so that was really embarrassing. Maybe that was an embarrassing moment. Oh my gosh, no, you know what was worse than that? The Lomi massage. Do you guys remember that? When I was doing a live shot, and then behind me was like this naked dude getting this Lomi massage, and there was like a little leaf covering the essential areas.
The things that need to be covered.
And my producer was in my ear like, get out of it, go, toss back. And I was like, oh my gosh. I had no idea what was going on back there.
Oh my gosh. There's a lot of food in this newsroom. I want to acknowledge. I can see a whole bunch of people gathering the chicken tenders.
What the heck? Oh, where's Marky Mark?
Mark is on it. Mark is on it.
Will you
There's
bring me some
Cane's.
chicken tenders?
Yeah, he's going to be bringing it. We'll be eating Cane's shortly.
For both of us.
Yeah, he will. I'll share regardless.
Cool.
Ale-
Every morning, Mark leaves chocolate kisses on my desk every morning.
He's the best. Mark
He's
is
the
the best. Ale saying, Kristin, what is your favorite segment of Rick's News of the Weird?
Oh gosh, I love News of the Weird. I just love being there for News of the Weird, and because the stories are all so weird, so it's funny. You know what I mean? Like that's an easy one. It's just funny. So yeah, Rick, gosh, I'm gonna miss that guy. He said some really sweet things today that made me cry.
Oh, I missed it on the show, the 9:45 block.
Yes. Can we
We're gonna
clip
have to-
that?
yeah.
Who does that? Who's responsible for that? One of them.
I think so.
No more chicken strips. What the heck?
Oh man,
Dang, those
they
go
went
fast.
fast.
Yeah, those go fast.
I mean, they're pretty good chicken strips. If
I
you
know,
haven't been
they're
to Cane's,
so
guys,
good.
highly recommend.
I've
Cane's.
eaten so much chocolate cake today. I don't need any more chicken.
But yeah, no, I'm
strips.
sure someone's gonna clip it if they haven't clipped it already.
Look, Beverly Hooper.
Oh, the bread's
Oh
good
no,
too,
I
though.
don't want bread.
Can I have a piece of toast?
Beverly Hooper says, Kristin, do you have something written on your palm? Yes, I do. I write things on my hand, just reminders. Like I'm back in 4th grade. I know. I'm sorry. I just write reminders for my day. I have a lot to do today.
Rachel's saying, I love the Friday funny when the joke sometimes goes over her head. She reminds me so much of my sister-in-law.
Do you mean every Friday funny when the joke goes over my head? I think I have gotten Friday funny maybe twice. 1 to 2 times I have gotten that joke. I never get. And you know why? It's because they're always so long. So by the time they get to like the middle of the joke, I'm like, what's that?
Something else is going on.
I'm sorry. Like most TV people have a short attention span. Most of us.
ADD.
Like, I'm sorry, but we do. And so like those jokes are just like. Don't get me wrong, when they explain them, they're funny. They're really funny when they get explained, but...
Should we get you really emotional right now?
Oh gosh, why?
Well, because I had this question that just popped in my head, and I don't know if you want to answer it, but you can.
Oh gosh, why?
Well, you could say your favorite thing about each of your fellow morning show
Do you really want to
co-hosts.
listen to me talk that long?
I do.
Are you
It's
sure?
your last day, yeah. And
Are
I'm
you
sure the
sure?
viewers want to know what you love about
Okay,
each
no,
person.
that's easy. I mean...
Oh, that's a lot of bread. Thank you.
You should have, like, I don't like how Mark does it discreetly. I feel like he should just bam.
He should
like,
just be a-
Mark,
he should be
you
a
need to
guest on the show.
You need to be a hand model. You've always wanted to be a hand model. You really need to just have this oh my gosh, like
Mystery hand.
What is that? What was that show, Home Improvement, when Wilson came?
Oh,
and
Wilson, who
Pence
never
was
had.
like,
Yeah, it was just.
Mark should be your, like,
Another
hand.
reference
Yeah.
to childhood TV.
I know, this is awesome.
So
but,
good. Yes, Kristen, I want to know. We do want to know.
what are you,
They
are
all
you
want to
sure?
know.
You
They
guys
all
want to hear
are
me
saying
sit
they
here
want-
and talk?
So we can start with Rick D'Amico.
I know, yeah. So, Rick, Rick and I are very similar. It's really weird. I mean, because he's a little bit older than me.
A little
So
bit.
you wouldn't think that we have so
And
much
he's also a man.
in common. He's also a man. He also has a boat. I don't have a boat. But as far as just
Yet.
not yet. But the thing about Rick that I love is that he really trusts his personality, and that's like one of the most valuable lessons that I like. You don't have to like plan everything and like overthink everything. He trusts that this is who I am, this is what I'm going to say, this is what I think, and you know what I mean. It makes great TV moments, and I think even people will love you and people will hate you. People even love and hate me. You know what I mean?
Not everyone in the world is ever gonna love you.
Well, yeah, someone's gonna like.
Someone's
yeah, no
gonna
one,
hate you.
Exactly,
And it's
so,
okay.
And it's okay, and you have to learn just to trust your personality, and that's a lesson I learned in Yuma. But Rick just is the perfect example of that. And so just being with him, I just feel so comfortable just interacting with him, and I'm just gonna miss him so
And
much.
he's like, kind of like your cubicle mate, because you guys haven't seen the newsroom. Kristen sits between Rick and Ron.
And Rick's right there, and I'm always looking at him, and he has like his hearing aid is also like a Bluetooth, so he's always talking to his wife like Ruth, and I'm just like, he looks like he's talking to no one, and so like I'm gonna miss those times though. And Rick is actually very sentimental, and sometimes he just says things just get me. I'm just like, oh, I love that guy. He's
All right.
awesome.
So then we'll go to the other side of your cubicle, Ron.
I'm gonna miss that guy. He's always here, so they know him really
They know
well.
Ron very well.
Ron and I are very, very, very close. And the thing about, we at 4:30 to 7 anchor the news together every day. And Ron, he has his strengths and I have my strengths, and they're completely different. And so the best thing about working with Ron is that we're like the opposites attract, and he fills the blanks that I need filled, and I fill the blanks for him. A lot of times he knows everything about
Like
everything.
early, that 4:30 to 7 block. Yeah.
mhm. He knows everything about everything. He knows how to draw maps. He knows where everything in the whole world is. Like,
You need to know anything about
Yeah.
anything that happened in the last
Anything.
500 years. Ron probably knows.
Ron's your man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you're ever on a game show, he's your phone a friend.
Oh my gosh.
Like he's the best phone a friend.
Oh my gosh, that is such a good thing. Oh my gosh. Hey, Ron, if I'm ever on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I'm going to phone you as my friend. He's totally my phone a friend.
You also owe him 10% then.
I know, right?
Whatever.
But Ron, he set up my 401k plan. Like, he knows everything about everything. And he did a great job. I'm like, wow, there's money in there.
I'm gonna have to ask him about
No, he's
that
so
too.
good. Like, he's so good. But yeah, so I think he just appreciates me for being me, and I appreciate him for being him. Like, he appreciates my randomness, my random chatter. I whistle sometimes in the morning, and he just appreciates me and lets me be me. Like,
Right.
I feel so comfortable with him, and I think just having a co-anchor where you can be yourself is priceless. Go to work every day and have someone that just be yourself.
You can just hang out with. And you're getting
Exactly.
paid technically to hang out with that person.
Yeah, it's man. It's
Okay, we're gonna
awesome.
continue. Now we're gonna move on to the man who pranked you.
Corey. You know what the best? I missed Hooner. Hooner left from across the room. I'm getting all sad.
No,
Oh.
Ron is going to be coming on a little bit later. He's
Oh,
joining
he is?
after. Yeah, Ron doesn't miss a day of news now.
I know, right? And I love that. And see, and I love that because he just doesn't get tired. He just keeps
Just
going, and he
goes
just
and
loves
goes.
information, and he
Right.
loves sharing with people and interacting with people. So, but Corey, what I'm going to miss about him the most is you could put Corey in a empty room, an empty white room with nothing in there, and he could make compelling television for as long as you need him to. He's the most creative, innovative, spontaneous, hilariously smart, on-air personality. He's so good. And I think people just realize, oh, it's easy, he's Corey, but being what he does and reacting as quickly as he does on TV is not easy. And he's a brilliant television personality. I mean, any of these people on this crew could work in any market in the country. They could work on any network in the country and be brilliant at what they do. And we happen to have them here, and so it's just been such a privilege to get to like share time and comedically with these people. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I feel like they've grown me really a lot. Corey's made me quicker.
Yeah.
Like comedically. And I'm not a funny person. Trust I can't make a joke to save my life, but just like normal comedic stuff, like in life, like being silly and funny. And so Corey is just Corey-like. Yeah. And that one time, I don't think you were here, but we were all doing the news. Corey walks across the newsroom, doesn't make eye contact with any of us, in a Speedo, like a tiny Speedo.
I definitely did not see that.
A tiny Speedo. And he just walked through the studio, walked through the newsroom, just for laughs, just because it's hilarious. He has walked in. In fact, he's been nearly nude many times in the studio. You didn't know that, did you?
Things I haven't seen.
No,
yet.
He's coming with like a little garbage bag on. It's hilarious.
That
is Corey. It's hilarious.
The morning show.
I'm getting his laugh
over here.
He's so awesome.
Kristin, Rick's thought of the day are great. Do you use some of them to guide you throughout the day? Ale wants to know.
I think I use them to guide me through the moment. Like when I hear them, through the day. I'm not like putting it in my pocket.
Not like you remote it.
It's kind of like things move quick around here. But I love the thought of the day. I love that they keep it around because everyone needs that dose of positivity.
Right.
Especially with all the stuff in the news, just to be able to have that is very, refreshing. So love the thought of the day. You who know me know that I love positivity. I love anything to cheer each other on. So yeah.
All right. Moving on. Across from Ron, there is Celeste Rodriguez, who sits right there.
Okay, Celeste is the perfect replacement for me because people know her and they love her already. And so I'm so glad that she's going to fill my seat, and hang out with Ron. Ron loves her too. And so I feel like I love that I'm not leaving anyone in bad hands. I know Ron's going to be taken care of.
Right.
The tips I gave her today were just to appreciate Ron's idiosyncrasies. He has, he burns his toast every day at 7:45. He has
In
this
the
cup has this cup of ice that he swirls around really loudly. And it's kind of annoying, but we love it. And, and we have the hour of power at 6 a.m. And I told her, you got to bring it. Ron needs the hour of power. So I love that Celeste is, she's so positive and she's so sweet. She's so caring and she's so kind. And I think the comments on my Facebook page that people are saying they're going to miss is that I'm always looking on the bright side of things. I really am a glass half full type of person, but Celeste is the same way. She's super positive. She's super endearing. She's a mom. She's super family. She's super crazy. She likes dancing. She's so fun. So my favorite thing about Celeste is that she's my perfect replacement. You guys are in good hands.
And
she's awesome.
Last but not least, I saved this for last because I felt like it was going to be emotional.
Yeah.
Andrea Robinson sits directly across from me the other way.
Well, the good thing is that I think I'm all cried out. That's the good thing.
That's good.
I have cried. Just a little bit about. What?
I'm saying I don't know if that's a good. It's like, oh, it's good that I'm all cried out at this point.
It is good because I think just to sum up me and Andrea's relationship is, I came in at 4 a.m. this morning and I was feeling a lot because it was my last drive to work and, I come in with no makeup on and I literally just walked into the green room and I just put my head on Andrea's shoulder and cried. I didn't say a word and I just cried because I needed to get it out and she just said, you're doing the right thing. You're doing great. You're going to be great. And she said just the stuff that only she can say. And we're really close. She's like one of my best friends. And we're just there for each other all the time. You know what I mean? So I'm just looking at people's comments. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to talk to Andrea a lot, So, but I think I'll just miss our times in the green room most of all together. Yeah.
Joe
Yeah.
Beecham saying you're going to make
hair's
new
a hot
great
mess.
friends because you're so awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that because I think anytime you make a big life decision, even if it's a great opportunity or the reasons, you do things, it's definitely there comes a moment where you're like, am I doing the right thing?
Right.
Am I? Yeah, this is worth it, right? I am making the
Well,
right
you're
decision.
supposed to. They always say listen to your gut feeling, and I get you internally kind of
Yeah.
can feel it, and I assume that's how you did this, how you
Yeah.
made this decision.
Well, you know, I'm glad you said that because I think Kristen, please say hi. Hi, Crystal. 37 weeks pregnant. We're gonna have donuts this morning. Ooh,
Apple
apple. Okay. The reason I am leaving is because I think it ultimately comes down to just my family and being
Right.
the best for my family. And the opportunity came working 1 day a week and as a sustainable working career situation on a national platform. And I realized that for all of Kingston's firsts and happenings, I'm going to be there.
Right,
You
which
know
is
what I mean?
huge. And
Because my schedule is going to be so flexible.
I
to the
assume
point-
what time do you get to wake up now?
Well, when I do go in my 1 day to shoot, I'm gonna work 10:30 to 3, 10:30 a.m. to 3,
Wow.
and then I'm gonna be doing a ton of video blogging from home. So a large part of my job on the Hallmark Channel is I get to promote my brand do my blogging and social media.
Right.
And so I mean that flexibility, it's an opportunity
It's
I
huge.
couldn't pass up. It was just best for my family.
Right.
So I get to see my husband a lot more. I see my husband like Saturdays. So
Because
I get
you're
our
opposite
schedules,
schedules. Right.
So I get to see that hottie who brought me 2 dozen roses today on the show.
Aw.
I get to see him more. So yeah.
Well, we'll miss you, and we'll be
you.
tuning in. I know one of the viewers asked where they can actually watch you. So you said the Hallmark Channel. What
Hallmark
time
Channel.
does it air?
It's 7 to 9 a.m. It's called Home and Family. So just check your whatever cable provider because it's a different channel depending on who you have. But it's the Hallmark Channel. Just look it up, Home and Family. It's 7 to 9 a.m. And then 9 to 11 is like the rerun from the previous day.
All right,
So,
Kristen. Well, thank you so much
Follow
for
me
hanging
on
out.
Facebook.
DPS, they're just about to start their
Okay,
press conference.
go,
We're
go,
going to go
go.
live. This is Frank Milstead
I
with
need
an
to go do
update
some
on the
stuff.
I-10 shooting. Thanks, Kristen.
Bye.
Thomas Road, we took a report of a confrontation between two vehicles, one a sedan and one a motorcycle, in which a weapon was brandished. I cannot say much about this incident except we are currently investigating. Anticipating the question, it is my understanding today, having received a call a few minutes ago from the County Attorney's Office, that Mr. Oscar de la Torre Munoz has been released. We understand he will be released within the hour from jail. The court made that ruling regarding his other charges, as you recall, that he was booked into jail on a week ago today, not involving our case. As to his status regarding our case, suffice to say we know where to locate him, and that's our position on Mr. Munoz. We continue to respond and investigate broken vehicle window calls that I think we had at least 2 early this morning, 1 from yesterday. As I've said before, we investigate each and every one of these, and to my knowledge, none of the reports that we took from these broken window cases resulted in addition to our 11 cases. We're still at 11 cases, and from what I gathered, all of these broken window, vehicle window cases were the result of road debris. So we still are at 11 confirmed cases in the I-10 shooting investigation, the last one occurring a week ago yesterday, and we continue to investigate this case diligently and around the clock through the Emergency Operations Center. I just want to go into a little bit more detail about the assets involved in investigating this case. Our aviation unit is involved in this. Our partners at Phoenix Police, as you've seen this week, their investigators are assisting us. Officers, investigators, our troopers, our undercover folks and the GitEm detectives, our detectives from the State Gang Task Force, they've been involved since day one. We continue to be on the highways, protecting the public with the marked and unmarked vehicles, and that will continue for the foreseeable future. Any questions?
The incident on I-17 you're investigating, is that related to, are you investigating it in relation to the I-10 shooting?
I think we are investigating that. I wasn't told of a link by the time I walked out here yet, but we are investigating. I'm not certain that it's related to that.
So Oscar Munoz is still a person of interest in this case?
I think for our purposes, yes. I've not been told otherwise.
Could you
clarify a little bit on what the state had said, or the prosecutors or the court on this? It says that the police report was not submitted, and then you had said it was, well, that was for the other charges, not necessarily for your case. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Can you clarify it a little bit?
I can't go into a lot of detail other than we spent a lot of time talking to Mr. Munoz. As I said yesterday, the day before yesterday when I had this briefing, he came to our radar, if you will, by a number by some information turned over to us regarding Mr. Munoz. The fact that he has been released from jail on these other non-related charges, I think it's fair to say that we still have an interest in him, but we're not at the point where we can say he's definitely a suspect, and he never was the prime suspect in this case.
Are you testing any sort of evidence or looking at anything you found via search warrants or after his arrest related to Mr. Munoz?
I can't really get into that. I'm sorry.
Will the public be concerned about his release?
The public continues to be concerned about this whole situation. Our investigation continues. The overhead signs that ADOT has generously continued to keep lit over the last however long it's been, week or so, almost 2 weeks, indicates this investigation is ongoing, and Mr. Munoz, like I indicated the other day, is a piece of the pie. It's a puzzle piece, and we continue to investigate. So in terms of his status with us, we know his whereabouts, and we will keep track of it.
So if Mr. Munoz is a piece of the pie, then why didn't DPS give the proper paperwork to argue that he actually did violate his probation?
I think I've already answered that question. He has, we've spent a lot of time talking to him, and the fact of the matter is that we still want to keep him on our radar scope, but we have obviously not charged him with this crime.
Why is it that DPS will not confirm the 5 incidents involving the gun, bullets, or connected forensically?
Because, as I indicated before, when you get into ballistics, the detectives are spending a lot of time trying to add up various factors in the evidence collected in this case, and to telegraph that to the media would harm the investigation, would harm our ability to make an effective arrest, and to make the case, more importantly, stick to whoever we do arrest in this case, and we will arrest somebody in this case. So rather than go step by step with that evidence we have, although we appreciate the effort the media has been partnering with us in terms of getting the word out, we cannot give you that at this point. It's frustrating for the public, but believe me, it will, if you let us investigate this case and put all these pieces, these puzzles together, we will come up with an arrest, and we will come up with a rock-solid case that hopefully will reassure the public.
Can you speak at all to your budget? I mean, you talked about your aviation unit. Overtime, I would imagine, for some of these troopers and officers out there. What does this do for your budget?
The governor has been very generous in giving us whatever resources we need to conduct this investigation. This is as you know, our number one priority as an agency, and we continue to be appreciative from the good offers from his office. It's best to answer that question when we have made an arrest and this case has concluded, then I can give you all the numbers.
When we talk about the budget of the man hours, the amount of assets you're putting into this, you talk about aviation unit, Phoenix PD, your officers, troopers, undercover, gang task force. Can you give us kind of a rough number of the amount of men that are on this?
I've been asked that periodically, and I can only say that dozens and dozens of people in our agency are working around the clock, and they continue to do so. I don't have an exact number. Remember, we are working with other agencies as well.
Along the same lines of resources, you talked about aviation. Are you willing to go into the technology being used yet?
No, I am not. All part of the investigation. I can't get for those watching to hear the question, I can't get into the technology that we're using. If we're using, it's fair to say we're using anything and everything available to us to wrap up this investigation and make a credible arrest in this case, hopefully soon.
Are you any closer than you were a week ago making an arrest in this case?
I think it's fair to say, since a week ago today, we've made headway in this case.
So since things change all the time, and given what's happened with this person of interest this morning being released, what kind of update can you maybe give us on whether or not there is one or multiple people you maybe believe involved in this, or whether there may be a connection of individuals working individually on this? Can you touch on maybe that, one person you believe both?
Ultimately, there are, as the director indicated, there are three scenarios involving this case. They're the original incident of the weekend of the last weekend in August, beginning August 29th that you're aware about, those 4 gunshots fired over that weekend from Saturday to Monday. That's one scenario. The following weekend, the Labor Day weekend, we had the road rage incident, which we put out a press release, and we still want to locate that person. And then there's the projectile shootings that occurred from that week on. So there's 3 different scenarios. We believe that if and when we make an arrest, hopefully the rest of that will fall into place. But there's 3 scenarios we're investigating, and that's why we're investigating as diligently and as intensively as we are.
One of the questions we're getting a lot from viewers has to do with these projectiles, and they're wondering if any of them have been recovered and if any further information can be provided about what they are.
I can't really answer that, David. I think in terms of the projectiles, all of our teams of detectives are working on various aspects of these scenarios, as I just indicated, and I can't really speak to what they've recovered and what they've analyzed. Anybody else? Thank you all for coming. Like I say, if something bigger develops, we'll schedule a news briefing, but that's about it for this week.
All right, guys, so that's a wrap on that DPS news conference. I am so excited to get on with our Friday morning / early afternoon. I guess it's not afternoon yet. It's only 11:12. Ron Hoon will be joining me in just a minute or two. We have a couple of big stories we really want to talk to you guys about. A lot of these headlines coming out of these 2 major stories. Obviously, one thing we're going to be talking about is Donald Trump. Is there a day that goes by that we don't talk about Donald Trump? You are my hero.
I'll be right back.
So Ron Hoon will be back in just a second. But yes, we are going to be talking about Donald Trump. I am talking about this incident that took place during the town hall that we aired right here on News Now last night. I think he was in New Hampshire, right? So there's all this controversy around what Donald Trump didn't say. For once, it's not about what Donald Trump said. It's about what Donald Trump didn't say. So I'm just going to hype it up, leave it at that right now, because I really don't like to start my political discussions without Ron Hoon sitting right next to me, getting his take on everything. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and play this story for you guys. This story, where is it? Well, the story I have from Douglas Zader surprisingly has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with the Pope visit. So I'm going to go ahead and play this up right here. This is a preview of the upcoming Pope visit, how America is getting ready. And I'll be back with you guys in 1 minute and 15 seconds.
At the enormous Washington, D.C. Basilica, the largest on the continent, workers are scrambling to prepare for the Pope's visit and the onslaught of visitors that are about to descend. And the Archdiocese here will tell you this will be the hottest ticket in town.
For every seat here, for every place that we're going to be able to give a ticket, there are at least 10 requests in my office for that.
We sold 4 just yesterday.
Papal merchandise is already flying off the shelves, including this $100 Pope-mobile. In Cuba, a choir is rehearsing for the Pope's visit there over the weekend before he begins the U.S. leg of the trip. but he's already running into criticism for refusing to meet with Cuban dissidents. Politics may intrude back in Washington as well, with a renewed abortion debate brewing on Capitol Hill. But there is one area of bipartisan agreement. With security concerns and thousands upon thousands of people about to arrive, traffic is going to be a nightmare.
It's why you may have noticed that the Office of Personnel Management has encouraged federal workers, at least on that day, to take advantage of telecommuting policies that may be in place at their agency. Traffic's going to be a mess.
So that was just a video of what the U.S. is doing to prepare for the Pope's arrival.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be crazy next week, huh?
Oh my goodness.
I know
Yeah.
we're going to have extensive coverage here on News Now. We're going to be having live feeds. I think I might have to come into work extra early because some of the events happen as early as I think like 6 a.m. our time.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Samia.
I don't know what I'm going to do. We're going to have to really get some coffee or something.
Sure.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, sure.
I'm so excited that you're here. So this is sort of the thing that I was already hyping up before your arrival. Everyone's talking about Trump, but for once it's not about what Trump said, but it's about what Trump didn't say.
Yeah, right.
And somehow everyone's bringing up John McCain as a result.
Well, some of the
guy.
some of the national networks have been playing it that way, and when I first saw it this morning, I'm trying to remember how late that Trump event was last night. I do know there was a Thursday night football game,
It happened. It was like 7 o'clock East Coast time because we carried it live here on News Now.
Oh, okay.
To my understanding, I believe that is what happened.
Well, in the video, which do we have the actual give and
right
take?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting because on the far right-hand side of the screen, there's which, by the way, one of the national networks got the photo bomber from the debate, the supposedly really handsome guy, on their show this morning to get his life story. I know. His
life story is that his dad's super rich and he grew up really privileged.
There you are.
And going to debate is no big deal because he has to do cool things all the time,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Am I right?
Anyway, there's a photo bomber here. You're going to barely see him. We got to make sure, Samia, that we widen out as far to the right as possible because this guy's reaction is priceless. I'm talking about the guy, the far right-hand side of the screen, the guy in the goatee, that guy right there.
Pan out some more so that people can see him. Right
yeah, you can. Oh, good.
There we go. You see him in full.
And you can sort of see him like, what? What is this guy even talking about?
Okay, so this is, in case you did not know, guys, this story is the big story.
Yeah. So this guy basically calls Obama Muslim. Donald Trump was part of the birther movement, you know.
Right, where he was demanding
to get
that he sees Obama's
not a gift certificate, a birth certificate. And so just the fact that Trump is sort of nods as the guy is speaking this is the affirmative nod.
Right, like in agreement.
Mm-hmm. Compared to, and I really thought it was brilliant that somebody in the research staff of some of these national shows went back and said, wait a minute, didn't the same kind of thing come up 8 years ago? And they pulled this clip of John McCain, which I don't think we have that one yet, but maybe we'll track it down by the end of the day.
I did learn about that. I'll give you a heads up on that, but I can figure out how I can find it. So we'll work around it.
But I mean, so McCain stops the woman in mid-sentence. Again, McCain has so many years of political experience, he can almost see stuff like this coming. And Donald Trump, who's kind of winging it all the way along, I'm sure, well, I don't know, but I would sure think that if he had to do it over again, he would have cut the guy off. But he didn't.
So let's watch.
Here we are. And listen to it, but also watch the guy far right. I mean, his reactions are better than anything else.
Trump's?
Yeah,
okay,
I think.
let's watch.
We have a problem in this country. It's called Muslims. We know our current president is one. When can we get rid of
We're going to be looking at a lot of different things.
So we don't have the whole. I thought we had the whole thing. We did a little bit of a.
Well, I'm sure I can find it. That was just what Fox National
had sent in a package.
Yeah, but what I can do is I'm sure someone's clipped it already.
We got to have everybody watch the whole, like, probably 15 to 20, 25 seconds that this guy is speaking.
Right.
So you can see the way Trump handles the whole thing. I think that would be helpful for people. And then B, again, the guy in the far right of the screen
So funny.
is he's got a reaction that I think a lot of people would have. And actually, there are a couple of other people. We could play it 4 or 5 times, and you could actually look at various people's responses on the stage. It's pretty interesting. So... I've told you while we're looking at this.
So here it is.
Let
me get it.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like you're getting close now.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go. All right.
Ready?
Gonna go ahead. Wait, no, I'm gonna have to cue it up.
Yeah. Right.
Taking this from Fox News Channel. All right.
We got to go farther to the right so you can see the guy.
Oh yeah, the guy still. This guy. Right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Oops, the audio.
Country, it's called Muslim. We know our current president is one.
Right.
You know he's not even an American.
We need this
Birth
question. This is
certificates,
the first
man.
question.
But anyway, we have training camps growing where they want to kill us. That's my question. When can we get rid of
We're going to be looking at a lot of different things.
Hillary?
Wow. And then Hillary Clinton's response. Yeah, I can see that. That guy in the back was not having it.
Yep.
And also, I'm going to continue this discussion with the viewers while I try to find the McCain clip. What happened was our servers back in 2008 were switching over. You may remember this.
Okay.
A transition from old editing systems to new.
Oh,
And it
okay.
was during that time period
Oh.
that we transitioned. And so certain weeks of video were not archived.
Oh,
So
really?
I'm learning from my sources
Wow.
that we just... It might take a lot longer to find it because the digital version of the clip itself
Oh.
is difficult
Yeah,
to find.
right,
But I'm
okay.
going to find it. So
Okay.
you talk to them. I'm going to try to find.
Okay. Shell, what are you guys saying about all this here?
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Wow.
really good at Googling. It's
Okay.
one of my skills. Good at the internet.
Yeah.
I should add that to my resume.
Right.
So I found this online. I can max out the screen. Ah. All right, let's watch this clip.
Frankly, we're scared. We're scared of an Obama presidency.
First of all, I want to be president of the United States, and obviously I do not want Senator Obama to be. But I have to tell you, he is a decent person and a person that you do not have to be scared as president of the United States. Now, now look, if I didn't think I wouldn't be one heck of a lot better president, I wouldn't be running, okay? And that's the point. That's the point.
I got to ask you a question.
Here's
I do
the
not believe in. I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not. No.
No, ma'am. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you. Yes.
So.
If I wasn't already obsessed with John McCain, you just gave me another reason.
Yeah.
Again, every reason that I have for supporting John McCain's existence has to do with his heart. It has nothing to do with, it's never been about politics for me. It has to do with that Kayla Mueller comment and now this one. For someone to be so nice to his opponent,
Right.
I'm just impressed with that.
Right. And, so he was given 2 opportunities there to join the piling on the negativity and the, I guess sort of racist attitude that people were bringing to that meeting.
Right.
Instead, he corrects both of those people. Now, I don't know. It's possible that he had some earlier town hall meetings where these questions kept coming up, and he just kept getting more and more fed up, and was more and more, just willing to grab the microphone away from people and was on high alert.
Right.
Because there were a lot of untruths and half-truths and things like that being said about Obama going back 8 years ago now. Which, by the way, that's hard to believe that was 8 years ago. I remember the speech that John McCain gave at the Republican convention right at the end where he said, people do need to realize this is a generational fight and we have to, you look at what's happening in Syria right now.
So sad.
It's so sad, and you have this extremist group like ISIS that is literally trying to take over portions of 2 countries, and people are fleeing for their lives, and we won't fight them, and we set red lines, and we don't do anything, and I don't think we're very respected over there. I do believe that if John McCain had been elected, I don't think we would have been as disrespected as we are in that part of the world. The new part of the story over the last 48 hours is Putin is talking about sending troops in.
Well, it's interesting you talk about Obama and his level of respect in that side of the world. It's amazing to me how much that's changed over the course of 7 years, though, because I've brought up this story before. I'll bring it up again. November 2008 is when I was doing some world traveling with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And this was just a few weeks after Obama was elected.
Okay.
And I'm in Turkey and in Egypt,